One of the switches I kind of talk about is two states I've noticed with artists, and that is the state of focus and the state of flow. When you're learning, you're in a very focused state of mind, and that's when you're building your visual memory bank. And when you're in a flow state of mind, you're kind of taking your visual memory bank as an artist and you're like allowing it to spill onto the page, all your ideas to just flow onto the page. The problem happens when an artist is stuck in one or the other. So if you're constantly stuck in a state of focus, you're working late every night, you are, let's say, in your spare time doing quite intensive tutorials, then you're going to start to burn out and hate art. But if you're in a constant state of flow, as in you're just the person who's constantly doodling, not really, there's no structure to your spare time when you're drawing, you're going to feel frustrated because you'll see you're not accomplishing anything. You're in a constant state of flow. So it's all about achieving that balance between the two. Well, I mean, look, I think it fluctuates greatly depending on the artist's age, actually, and experience. I usually noticed young artists especially get stuck in either one state or the other. They're constantly trying to learn, but there's also this term I came up with, which is tutorial junkies, where tutorial junkies are the guys that are just constantly gathering books and DVDs and resources online and subscriptions to websites, but they move from one thing to the other so fast that they're not actually absorbing these lessons. They're not doing any deep learning, and they're also in a constant state of focus. And these guys burn out and are frustrated because they've got all these resources, but they don't feel like they're learning anything. And that for them is really frustrating. But what they need to realize is it's not because they can't draw that thing, it's because they haven't equipped themselves to draw that thing. When you build your visual memory bank with the things you constantly observe in life, all of that wealth is then going to come through in your unique ideas, because you're a sum of your influences at the end of the day. What you observe most in life are going to be the filters through which your ideas pass. Africa has a unique, I wouldn't say a unique problem, but our industry is quite young compared to, let's say, the American industry. The American industry, you have a lot of older mentors who have been there from the beginning. We don't really have that in Africa yet as such. We're getting there, but it's still a young industry, and because of that, there's not many mentors. That's when it becomes really important to pursue self-education. Formal education is great, but a formal education can only get you so far. Self-education is what's really going to build your career. And the great thing with having the internet is it makes self-education much easier this day and age. So, and I know a lot of people who haven't had, they didn't have the money or the resources to get a formal education, to go to university or college, so they had to self-educate from the very beginning. And you'll find that these guys are like machines. They get so used to self-educating that they just kind of bypass people with formal educations and have higher positions in the industry. So you don't have to get a formal education in order to pursue your career. What you need is the ability you need to learn how to learn.